It's Friday afternoon, and what with the excitement of the last few days of the transfer window, I've been up all night suffering from what will now forever be known as Nzogbia. Yes, welcome to Football Spy. Better be careful, otherwise Newcastle's left winger might refuse ever to be mentioned on Football Spy again while I'm in charge. Now, no one's come in for Charles Nzogbia, but he wants to go to Arsenal or Aston Villa and claims his agent's talking to both clubs. Hopefully, talks won't go on into the night, and hopefully they won't be drinking too much coffee. It's already been a busy morning in the transfer market, and we're going to focus on some breaking news today to kick off. First of all, Manchester City have had a fourth bid of £18.5 million for Blackburn's Roque Santa Cruz turned down. Arsenal have had a work permit for Andre Arshavin agreed in principle. Newcastle keeper Shay Gibbons handed in a written transfer request. That's in the Irish Times. We know he's going to City. Sunderland have had an official bid from Blackburn for El Hadj Diouf. That's on the Press Association wires. On our own website at mirror.co.uk, Aston Villa are ready to move in for the City defender Micah Richards. The Spanish daily AS is reporting that Atletico Madrid are to bid for Liverpool's Jabi Alonso. Hull have signed defender Steven Miocolo from French club Boulogne. That's on the Press Association wires. And the Manchester Evening News say that German side Hoffenheim, who are fighting for the title, want that legendary socialiser Joe from Manchester City. Lots of you with something to say, with the window about to close. And we start with our posters on YouTube. To Oliver C., there's been no news yet on whether Spurs are going to give a contract to Stefan Appiah. That seems to be going on forever. To the TAC, Arsenal are the only club talking to Zenit St. Petersburg about Arshavin. And to John O'Top, you probably know by now that Kevin Nolan is about to sign for Newcastle from Bolton. Bad decision by Gary Migton to sell his club captain. And I asked you yesterday where Santa Cruz would play if he signs for Man City. Al Jericho says, nice to see you finally giving some credit to Man City, Darren. Santa Cruz would start for City. Bellamy next to him and Robinho in the midfield. Some more papers for you, and a Football Spy exclusive on the back of the Daily Mirror. Blackburn boss Sam Allardyce is lining up Peter Crouch with the money he'll get when he eventually takes a few quid out of City for Santa Cruz. A good deal, but Crouch will need a bit of pace alongside him to be at his best, and neither Jason Roberts nor Benny McCarthy are particularly quick. The Independent say Spurs have ended their interest in bringing back Robbie Keane because Liverpool want their £20 million back and Spurs can't afford it. The Times say Spurs see Santa Cruz as an alternative and are willing to offer Darren Bent in part exchange. A good deal all round perhaps, but I think Rovers would rather have the cash. And I wonder too if Spurs would be interested in moving in for Damien Duff. Our own Daily Mirror says the Magpies are trying to offload him because they think he's been a flop and they want to sign Derby's Chris Commons. And this is a curious Cristiano Ronaldo story in the Times. They say he signed a long-term agreement worth £91 million with Real Madrid. I ignored it at first, but the story says that Real used a similar tactic 9 years ago when they lured Luis Figo away from Barcelona, so watch that particular space. Some more messages for you, and Dan the Hammer says here, thanks for the great gossip. Do you know if West Ham have made an offer for Mario Balotelli at Inter Milan? Well, we know that they were interested, but Inter are adamant that they won't sell. He's a superb young player and is angry at not playing regularly, but Jose Mourinho sees him as one for the future. Spencer's a Man City fan. He agrees with me that Nigel de Jong's an awesome player. Arsenal fans, you missed out. Spencer also says here that he'd let Richard Dunn go and get either Terry or Puyol in. He says, I think after watching City for the last 19 years of my life, we deserve a bit of luck. And it's probably the first time I've ever been optimistic about where we'll end up in 5 years. By the way, Football Spy is awesome. Keep it up. Thanks a lot, Spencer. A reminder for you that on Monday there are 4 editions of Football Spy with the window closing at 5 p.m. because the 31st falls over the weekend. So join me on Monday, and don't forget the weekend team here on mirror.co.uk We'll be keeping you across all the transfer activities, so make sure you log on. Leave me your messages and I'll answer them on Monday. Now, the debate on the Premier League's best striker continues. I keep putting this down and get it again. Liam disagrees with me, dissing Henry and bigging up Shearer. He says here, Shearer even said on a programme I watched once that Henry is the best player in the world, and if he came back to Arsenal, he'd still be the best ever. Fair enough. Mohamed's conducted a simple mathematical analysis to prove that Henry was the best. I always thought that you just counted up the number of goals that a striker scored. A few more papers for you. Some very interesting stories indeed. Man City will make one last bid for Arsenal defender Kolo Touré and may offer Micah Richards as part of the deal. That's in the Daily Mirror. Chelsea and Man City have joined Real Madrid in the race to sign United striker Carlos Tevez, one for the summer. That's in the Times. You know my views on that. I think he's better off out at United if they can't give him regular first-team football. And again, in a packed Daily Mirror today, Fulham are looking at Derby midfielder Giles Barnes as a replacement for Jimmy Bullard. I think that's even moved on as the mornings wore on today. Elsewhere, Swansea set to smash their transfer record with a £500,000 bid for Southampton's Nathan Dyer. Leeds have told Fulham that star midfielder Fabian Delph will cost them £5 million. That's in the Express. Derby have jumped the queue. They've jumped to the head of the queue to land Motherwell striker Chris Porter. That's in the Daily Express. And up in Scotland, the Daily Record say that Celtic are trying to tie up a loan deal for West Brom left-back Marek Cech. The Daily Express, they also say that Inverness hope to hijack St Mirren's bid to sign Rangers left-back Stevie Smith on loan. One more general story for you to discuss as well. The Mail say on the back page today that Premier League clubs are discussing doing away with the January transfer window. I hope they don't. I love the fact that there are just two big chunks of the year where they can do all of their business. And plus, I don't know if I could keep up Football Spy all year round. Chris is here all year round. He'll be updating you on all the breaking news today, and I'll see you on Monday.